Alright guys, this is what we're trying to build. This is the 2.0 version of the original Score and Folded. This is the box we've managed to get it into. It's 48 inches by 2 inches by 36 inches. Gonna go through the process of building one of these. The most difficult part about this is this piece right here. So it's best to try and leave this either centered on something or the cardboard so that it can be moved together like this, because once these are scored on the back side, they're pretty flimsy and you want to try not to bend those as many times as possible. So I keep it on the backer because that's one of the last pieces that go together. And then we'll come back to this. So I'm going to set this out of the way. This can be pretty much a one-man job, but I have Greg here giving me a hand with the front piece, the shelf, so that when we put it in there, just having two sets of hands really expedites the process. So we start with this center piece. We've been assembling them upside down. There's a left and right for this. You want to make sure that the cutout matches the cutout for the display. Let's see. So we're going to pull out as many pins as we need. We've been going through, like I said, from the back side, so this is face down and pushing these through. It helps with the alignment. Actually, don't do the ones for the tablet. We start down, leave these four out for now. As you can see, everything's pre-drilled now so that the holes align with all the tabs and everything that folds over. We're going to go ahead and mount the brackets. So obviously align these with your holes. And you can see why it's easier to do this face down. It gives you some alignment points. Then we're going to use what I call the wings. Same thing. We're going to go through. Greg, why don't you assemble that other wing while I'm working on this one? Go ahead and bring it over here so you can see. These are 7mm body push pins. On the display over there, we used black, just getting through some inventory that we had. For these, they're clear or white. And it's white, but the package is clear. Tilt this up. I'm going to turn it in a way so that you guys can see what's happening on the back side. Obviously, if these aren't pushed all the way in, you can make some adjustments here. You have a really tough time getting them back out if you got to pull one out. So these align And it's good to put this piece on next because it starts giving it some structure. You want to make sure that this is aligned, this one and the next one. You're going to come in from the face side so that you end up with the caps all on the outside. Now for putting the shelf on the front. You want to turn it so that it's facing you. I'm going to bring this up in view so that you can see how to handle it. You want to pick this thing up in a way so that you support these larger tabs. You're going to lift it, support these sections, start working your fold. It's important that that slides behind because these tabs support most of the weight of the bike once it's on there. This is where you need as many sets of hands as possible. We're also going to include some black strips of a ultra thick vinyl just in case repairs need to be made. Okay, go ahead and move the backer plate. So what the production guys have told me is that it's actually better now to hold this back with your arm, pick up the whole thing, and set it on its face. If you can see that, what it does is it gives us access to all these panels on the back and pushes it so that the weight of the display pushes down into these and bottoms them out. So you want to make sure all your tabs are pulled all the way through here. Because if they get bound up and you go ahead and lock them down, again, these are very difficult to get out. So you're going to fold these over, find your pin. Now that that's secured, you can pick it up and everything will be locked down. So what we're going to work on now is this top section for the display. I'm going to go ahead and move this a little bit further down in the view of the camera. So, Greg, go ahead and grab the tablet for me. The reason why we left those top 4 pins out was to help with aligning this. So there's a bracket on the inside of here that creates spacing for the tablet. This goes All right, we got cut off a little short on the tablet mounting and the backplate mounting. So I'm just going to go over, as I said, when we were mounting these, they're almost impossible to get back off. It's double-sided adhesive, just like how the other displays work. This piece pops down below the new tablet holder. These pieces have been slightly modified, just some cuts here and there, but for the most part they're the same as what the original was. We've got good coverage here. This piece fits underneath here, so aesthetically it's good. Once the tablet's in there, it slides in, has a nice tight fit. The charging port is just above right here, so that line can be run down the side without having to put any other cuts into it. You know, this thing's just as stable, if not more, because of the push pins. When we were screwing them before, you could strip a bolt out or screw, or, you know, because it's only going through a small amount of plastic and aluminum, where these push pins are, I mean, almost impossible to get back out. So that's the new 2.0 display. I'm going to throw some bikes on this thing real quick and finish it off. A great part about this new display, also on the manufacturing side, as well as repairs or issues with the display, parts and pieces can be sent back out to repair any part of this. So when it comes to if this gets dented or scratched, or if one of these somehow, you know, somebody steps on it and breaks a tab or whatever, we can send one of these out. And again, it all goes out in a flat box, so that should make ease of getting these things around the world much better. So display is just as sturdy as the last version. No issues there. So it looks pretty good.